నమో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. Today is the second day of our classes on Darshnas by Dr. CSR Prabhu garu. So let us welcome him and we'll request Saugandhi to chant Prardhana.
शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी। विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। हरिः ओम श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। धन्यवाद।
Okay. Let us request CSR Prabhu garu to start the second day of our Darshnas lecture.
Okay, friends, today we will see the remaining overview of the remaining Darshnas. Yesterday we have covered Sankhya and Yoga. So Nyaya Vaiseshika become a pair, just like Sankhya and Yoga become a pair. They are connected. Like the framework of Sankhya is the background framework of Yoga Darshana. In the case of Nyaya and Vaiseshika, the proofology or the method of proof, Pramana Shastra, Nyaya is known as the Pramana Shastra, is deployed as the fundamental basis in the Vaiseshika Darshana, which is a Prameya Shastra. That is, it is a science of objects, ontologies, physical world, physical entities, physics. So in this domain, the application of the methodology of Nyaya, the proof, Nyaya is nothing but Tarka or Nyaya is a proof science, science of proof. So Pramana, it's called Pramana Shastra. So how many types of Pramanas are there? Like valid knowledge is possible to be acquired through observation, through your eyes or ears or nose or skin, whatever, indriyas, or through analysis, inference of the observation. It's called Anumana. Pratyaksha is observation, Anumana is inference based on the observation. The entire domain of science is based on Anumana. Nobody has seen an electron till today, but it is inferred. It is based on Anumana, based on Pratyaksha. Some other phenomena are observed in the experiments, and when you perform inference, then you can infer the existence of electrons or protons or whatever. The entire science is based on Anumana Pramana. Then we have the Shabda Pramana. There are subjects which cannot be acquired understanding through either observation, Pratyaksha, or through inference, like whether God exists or what happens after death, whether there is rebirth or not. What will happen if you do this, if you don't do this, because you don't know. You can neither observe nor infer. Even simple things like whether COVID is there or not, or whether if you go to, suppose you have stomach ache and you go to the doctor will say you have so and so. You don't know whether it is true or not. You can neither observe nor infer. The doctor is able to do it. That is called Shabda Pramana. That is, Pratyaksha Anumana Pramanas, when they fail to address a particular question or a problem or issue, then you have to use Shabda Pramana. That is differential knowledge. So in the case of normal subjects, differential knowledge is from the expert opinion. In the case of spiritual subjects, the reference opinion is from the Veda or from the Upanishads or from Gita. It is Shruti or Smriti. Shruti Prama, Smriti Prama. Veda is Swatah Prama. It is independent vouching of the reference. It can be used as an independent vouching. So, in addition to these three Pramanas, there is also an Upamana Pramana, similarity. Suppose you say that you are similar to so and so. That is Upamana Pramana. Then there is one more called Ardhapatti, which is there in the Mimamsa. So the Pramanas are the epistemological measures of proof of knowledge. That means whether something is true or not, you can establish from various channels of Pramanas. This is Nyaya Darshana. And using these Pramanas, the Vaiseshika Darshana is the physical universe, the ontology, the relationship between things and entities is being explained. I wrote a book on the physics of Vaiseshika. You can acquire it from Tirupati Vedic University, SV Vedic University. It is there in the internet also. You can just search my name and give Vaiseshika, the physics of Vaiseshika. So the Vaiseshika Darshana was originated from sage Kanada. By the way, Nyaya Darshana, Nyaya Sutras are there, which are given by sage Gautama. We all know Gautama, Gautami Express. We have Godavari called Gautami, but we don't know why it is called Gautami. Because Gautama Rishi lived there and he is from Bihar. So he moved to Godavari Basin and he lived for a long time. But though originally he is from Bihar. So Gautama Rishi's wife is Ahalya and all that story, you know. So why Buddha was known as Gautama Buddha? Because his name was Siddhartha, not Buddha, not Gautama. I asked this question to a lot of people, nobody gave a correct answer. He was called Gautama Buddha because he followed the Gautama's proof science, that is the science of proof. That is dialectical materialism, and nothing will be accepted without a proof. The safest way to live life is to speak only things which have proof, the validity of the truth. If you speak things or if you declare things which have no validity or proof, then you will be dismissed as a liar, fraud. So it is like saying IIT Bombay or IIT Kharagpur, IIT Madras, like that. Gautama school, that is Gautama Buddha. Buddha means enlightened person, but he belonged to that school of logic. Logic was applied in Buddhism. We have the materialism based on logic. And now coming to the Vaiseshika, which is originated by Kanada Rishi. That also is a title. Kana means particle or atom kind of thing, and Ad means eater, a person who eats particles, because he gave the atomic theory. He gave the atomic theory in the Vaiseshika Sutras. So I have found after 15-20 years of research a complete basic physics there. I have written in that book, the first book in the world for the last 5,000 years showing physics in Sanskrit. There are many books showing mathematics and other subjects. No book is there for physics. So I proved that the Vaiseshika Sutras are physics of the ancient science. And I will quote a few things from there for you. Basically, it is about the ontology, the entities, like basic entities, dravyas, substances. Prithvi, Apa, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha, Dik, Kala, Mana, Atma, iti dravya. They have identified 9 substances. Prithvi, Apa, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha. Dik, Akasha and Dik are differentiated. We all know the Panchabhutas very well. But other than the Panchabhutas, he has also given Dik. Prithvi, Apa, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha are the Panchabhutas. Then Dik is a directional space or Cartesian space. And Akasha can be interpreted as the equivalent of ether before Einstein's relativity theory. And then Kala, of course, and then Manas also is identified as a substance based on the Atman or self. So the first time in the physical observation or physics, observer has been accepted in the Vaiseshika Sutras way before the observer is accepted in the quantum theory. Now in quantum mechanics, observer is very important. Depending on the observer, the space-time framework in relativity theory also is defined. And for example, the light, is it particle or wave? If you perform an experiment in a particular way, photoelectric effect, then you can see the light particles as photons. But if you perform an experiment in a different way, diffraction, you can see light as waves. Also for X-rays, also for gamma rays, they are both particles and waves. So depending on the observer, the observation, that is the quantum theory. And in the relativity theory, depending on the observer, the space and time change by the factor root of 1 minus v square by c square. V is the velocity of the observer, c is the velocity of light. As v approaches c, this root of 1 minus v square by c square approaches 0. I mean, if you travel at velocity of light, then V is equal to, say, V square by C square is equal to 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Root of 0 is 0. So your space and time both will become 0 if you travel at velocity of light, which is 186,000 miles per second, or 310 to the power of 8 meters per second. And it is usually declared that it is impossible for any body to reach the velocity of light, because mass also changes accordingly. So Einstein's special theory of relativity gives three equations. The same factor, root of 1 minus V square by C square, is a factor with which space and time get altered, and also mass gets altered. So the infinite, it's like a limit. The velocity of light is like a limit. It's not infinite, but it's almost considered as a limit. It is a limit in terms of velocity that can be acquired by any physical. If at all you can travel at velocity of greater than that of light, then your root of 1 minus V square by C square will become negative. Root of a negative number is imaginary. So your space can go backwards, or time can go backwards. So this is quantum theory relativity, but of course, these things have not been discussed in Vaisheshika Sutras. But Schrodinger himself told that the Schrodinger equation is representing Maya. And Niels Bohr and Einstein himself, almost all of them studied Sanskrit, and they knew Sanskrit very well. Robert Oppenheimer, who made the bomb, recently there was a movie. He quoted the Gita 11th chapter sloka, Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhave Dyugapadatthita Yadi Bhasadrishischaiva Syad Bhasastasya Mahatmana, as if 1,000 suns burnt at the same time. So that description given in the Vishwarupa Darshana, 11th chapter of Gita, Robert Oppenheimer remembered and quoted when he saw the bomb blast, atomic bomb blast, first time in Hiroshima. So they were so good scholars of Sanskrit and Shastras. So they got a lot of ideas. I'm not saying they have not done any work. They are formulated mathematically, but they did get ideas from the ancient scriptures. Now in the Vaisheshika Sutras, apart from the basic dravyas, like if you say what is Prithvi, Prithvi can be declared as solid state, or it can be declared as earth, crude terms. And liquid state is Apa, Vayu is the gaseous state, and then Agni or energy principle, general energy principle. So this classical physics model, you all know classical physics had four fundamental entities, substances, that is matter, energy, space, and time. All four are absolute and fundamental. Whereas in the modern physics, they merge, like space and time are relative, they don't exist. Because if you travel at velocity of light, space becomes zero and time. So space and time have no absolute existence. They are relatively existent, relative to the observer's velocity. Therefore, you can ignore space and time, and if you take rest, matter and energy, in the general theory of relativity, Einstein proved that matter and energy are interconverted. E is equal to mc square. So if matter can, 1 gram of matter you take, it will be multiplied by c square, that is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second, square of it, that is about 9 into 10 to the power of 16 meters. Joules, watts of energy will be equivalent to 1 gram of matter. That's what happens in the atom bomb. The matter will be converted to energy in the fission and nuclear fission in the atom bomb, and therefore such huge energy can destroy the entire city or whatever it is. So that is how the Einstein theory of relativity converts matter and energy into one. So we can ask a question, what is that which converts itself into either forms of matter, either forms of energy? Because you can convert energy into matter, like in the case of cosmic rays, the particles, fundamental particles which are gathered in cosmic rays, are the matter converted from energy, and vice versa in atom bomb energies, matter is converted into energy, and that is energy is coming out of matter. So there is some X, the material substance, which is the fundamental basis for all matter and all energy. And that is what was explained as Brahman in the Upanishads, or Sat in Vaisheshika Sutra. Sat akaranavat nityam. Sat is causeless and is permanent, eternal. Even though transformations are taking place from one form of the matter to another, one form of energy to another, or energy to matter or matter to energy, the background, the fundamental substance remains the same. So that is called Sat. Now the observer or the consciousness is called Chit. So in the Upanishads and in Vedanta Darshana, which is the next topic we'll cover now. So apart from the Nyaya and Vaisheshika, which I have just covered in the rocket speed, we have the Mimamsa and Vedanta, also known as Purva Mimamsa, the previous Mimamsa, and Uttara Mimamsa, which is Vedanta. So the Purva Mimamsa deals with what is called Karma Siddhanta. It is the sutras, the Mimamsa sutras are given by Jaimini, who is also a disciple of Vyasa. So in the Mimamsa sutras, the Dharma is being defined as driving force, Chodana Lakshano Dharma. And all rituals, all from Agnihotra onwards, and various 11 types of Haviryagas in Srauta, and then of course in Smarta and Pauranika Karma, they're all under the purview of Mimamsa Darshana, where karma is supposed to be the cause of everything. So you will reap what you sow. If you do good karma, you will get good results. If you do bad karma, bad results. That is the general principle. But karma in terms of the yajna, yaga, so many types of srauta karmas are like Agnihotra, Atiratra, Somayaga, Chayana, so on, and also Vajapayam, Ashwamedham, all srauta karmas. Then we have smarta karmas like Chandi Homam, or Rudra Homam, or Lakshmi Yagam, and so on. So Pauranika karma is also there, like Satyanarayana Katha, Varalakshmi Vratam, all these are Pauranika. All are karmas. So the karma-based theory, Karma Brahman, that is the theory which was postulated by Vandana Mishra, who was defeated by Adi Shankaracharya, who come out with Uttara Mimamsa or Vedanta. So once defeated, Vandana Mishra became Sureshwaracharya, Shankaracharya of Sringeri first. And after getting defeated, he got converted into a monk, sannyasi. And the Vedanta Darshana comprises most foundational Advaita Siddhanta, which is propounded by Adi Shankaracharya. Why it is called Vedanta Darshana? Because the end of Veda. End of Veda means what? Veda has 4 parts: Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad. Samhita are the mantra bhagas, the Purusha Sukta, Sri Sukta, and all those Sukta. Then we have lab manuals called Brahmana Granthas, which are indicating who should do what in a particular yajna. Then we have Aranyakas, which are the forest discussions, which finally evolved into Upanishads. Upanishad means sitting together nearby and talking like we are doing right now. So because the Upanishads are the 4th part of the Veda as a whole, it's called Vedanta. That is one of the definitions. And the Upanishads comprise the profound topics of philosophical questions being attempted to be answered. That is, what is God, whether God exists or not, if he exists, how God has created the universe, how the universe came, when did it come, whether the universe exists or it is only an illusion, apparent illusion. All fundamental questions. What is mind? What is self? So fundamental questions are asked, philosophical questions. They call Jnana Kanda. The rest of the Veda is dealing with Karma Kanda. That is, Samhita are the chantings of the Vedic mantras, hymns, and suktas, or sections or chapters during the yajna. The yajna procedures are explained in the Brahmana Granthas and other, even in Yajurveda and also some other texts. So the Karma Kanda is like a prerequisite for Jnana Kanda. Unless you go through the Karma Kanda, you will not be purified enough to acquire Jnana, Brahma Jnana. So what is this Jnana? Jnana is not about mathematics, physics, chemistry, medicine and all that, but supreme Jnana, that is spiritual knowledge, Adhyatma Jnana. So that is called Brahma Jnana. if you get Brahmajnana, then you are called Brahmavit or Brahmana. The word Brahmana means Brahmam Janati iti Brahmana. A person who knows Brahman. What is Brahman? Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yasmin pravishanti tat Brahma. That from which everything in this universe originated, that due to which everything in the universe is sustained, and that into which everything in the universe decays and decomposes and disappears, dissolves. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. All the three, that which is the cause of all the three, is called Brahman in the definition given. So the Upanishads are the core source of Brahmajnana. And yo vedadav swaraprokto vedante cha pratisthitaha tasya prakritilinasya ya maheshwara. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Maheshwara, is sounded in the Shruti, in the Veda mantra, Vedadav Swaraprokto, the Vedic chanting is conveying the mysterious nature of the Parabrahman or Maheshwara, Ishvara, Parameshwara. And in the Vedanta, that is in the Upanishads and its commentaries like Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita, it is established. Vedante Sunischitaha. So that is the Brahmajnana. So that process of acquiring that Brahmajnana is called Brahmavidya. So normally we'll say any topic, is it Brahmavidya? It is not Brahmavidya. That means Brahmavidya is something very difficult, very abstract, and cannot be understood so easily. So the knowledge of the Supreme Being, knowledge of creation, knowledge of existence, the sustenance and dissolution, all this is which is described in the Upanishads, on which I gave many lectures, not in your course, but in other courses, in the morning courses. So that Upanishadic knowledge of Vedanta is summarized in the Brahma Sutras, which are the Vedanta Sutras, written by Badarayana, who is also Vyasa. So Bhagavad Gita is also a summarization of the Upanishads, and it conveys the same knowledge in a simplified manner compared to Brahma Sutras. Brahma Sutras are very difficult to understand. They are meant only for highly scholastic people. Even I didn't understand fully. Here and there I understood. So it's very difficult to understand Brahma Sutras completely. Adi Shankaracharya wrote big commentaries, and Bhagavad Gita is very easy to understand. The same knowledge of the Upanishads and Vedas. Sarva Upanishado Gavo, Dogdha Gopalanandana Pardho Vatsa, Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Amrutam Mahat. So this Gita Amrutam is the summary of all the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, which I will be talking later. So the three sources of Brahmajnana, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita, three together are called Prasthanatraya. A person who can give an independent commentary to all the three based on a particular Siddhanta is called Acharya. Shankaracharya gave the Advaita Siddhanta explaining the Brahmajnana given in the Upanishads and in the Brahma Sutras and in the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, he was called Acharya. And then 1,000 years later to him came Ramanujacharya, who gave a different model. Then Madhvacharya gave a different model. Nimbarkacharya gave a different model. Advaita, Advaita, Visishtadvaita, Advaita, Advaita, Suddhadvaita, and so on. Around 25 Siddhantas are there. If any one of you want to become an Acharya, you have to give your own Siddhanta to explain all the three, the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita. If anybody is there, let me know. We'll come to you and learn from you. So you can become the next Acharya. After 25 people, you can be 26th also. But if you are not able to do it, you can at least try to understand what other Acharyas have explained in their theories, Siddhantas. I think this is the overview of the Vedanta Darshana. The time is up, I guess, right? So I will stop here. If you have any questions, you ask.
ధన్యవాదములండి. Any questions from anybody? After 2 days of lectures on darshanas, you can ask on all the 6 darshanas, astika darshanas. Anybody has any questions on this, you can ask. It's only introductory. Students can open up and ask any question. Okay. So they may come out later with any questions. You can directly put a question and then send it to the email or WhatsApp number, which we will reply it. Thank you, sir, for the lecture today. Shall we? Oh, there is one. Thank you, Acha. Thank you, sir. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody? Acha, all of you put your comments in the chat box. Every day you can do that. Today also, please do that. Whatever you want to say, you can give a feedback on the chat box of this, which will be acted upon. Okay. Saugandhiji, please chant Pratna.
So you can announce tomorrow's program also.
Yeah.
Dr. Kanalji. Yeah.
Yeah.
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ स्वस्ति धन्यवाद
Okay. Dhanyavadamulu. Nobody should leave before chanting, before reciting national anthem. So before that, as Patel sir is telling, tomorrow's program is Dharma Shastras and the Social Structure by Nitin
And Indian Constitution.
Nitin Sridharji. And Nitin Sridharji is going to take the class for next 3 days. The topic is Dharma Shastras and Social Structure. And
I am taking, I am taking Dharma Shastras versus Indian Constitution.
I'll talk to you separately.
20, 21, 22, that's what
I
it was given.
will talk to you separately.
Right, sir. Okay, fine.
Okay. So let's go for Janaganamana.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय जय जय
Patelji, there is a little confusion. I will talk to you separately on the schedule.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I have already sent to some of my friends to attend for tomorrow. That's the reason.
Stop recording, please. Recording
Yeah.
stop.
In fact, you see our conversation. So that
You have sent it today, sir?
not today,
Yeah.
and WhatsApp.
No, WhatsApp, I think today.
I'll talk to you. I will ring you up and talk to you.
Right, sir. No problem.
Okay. Thank you so much. Anybody wants to say anything? Now, floor is open. Give your feedback, like, put your comments on the chat box. All students. Otherwise, we will close.